Hello, my name is Ryan Miller. I'm the founder of ParentDome.com, which is an educational platform which is designed to assist parents and caregivers with how to keep their children safe on a digitally immersive life. And on that platform, I talk about awareness, oversight, and controls. And because of my participation on Periscope, I thought it was prudent to provide those that are interested in entering into my broadcast to be aware of the terms of services associated with how I conduct my broadcasts. And as I often say during my communication, that social media does not have an ethical standard for which how people participate in any platform. And since I reside in the United States, I understand that we are afforded a privilege called the freedom of speech. And I want to honor and respect that. At the same time, based upon the conduct and the discussion and the subject matter which I talk about, it's very important that I declare what is the purpose of my particular broadcast and the rules that I set forth inside of this broadcast. So while people may be able to feel free to exhibit their particular form of freedom of speech, I just let them know that they may not be protected from the consequences associated to their behavior exhibiting that speech. So one of the first rules that I say that this is a profane-free room. Profanity is not accepted. And that if you are feeling compelled relative to my topic matter to involve yourself in a profane nature, I ask you to pause for a moment and see if you can expand your vocabulary and think if there are additional words that you can add in the commentary that may be specific to the topic of my broadcast. I am not opposed to hearing alternative views and engaging in reasonable discourse with those that may choose to communicate through my platform on Periscope. However, if it is of malicious intent and it is not contributory to the subject matter I'm talking about, and it is profane, I will warn you, and that I ask that you refrain from that future behavior. At the same time, I may not be in a part of my communication that a warning is appropriate and that the presentation may be so vile as it relates to my expectation within my broadcast that I will take you to and exhibit the block, that I will activate your name on the screen and select the option to block. But I rarely do that. I afford people the ability to stop and participate in a contributory manner or a discussion type of manner. But if that behavior does persist, I allow people to continue in that dialogue that is what I identify as disruptive. And there's a reason that I do that, because of my platform and keeping kids safe on the internet, that I have come to understand, and through the data and research, and psychologists and therapists say this, that the outward behavior that is very nasty on the internet is typically a masking of an inward pain. And because my mission is about keeping kids safe on the internet, there's two types of kids. There's kids that are receiving this kind of communication, which is those that are disruptive on Periscope. But there are those that are providing that or contributing to that communication. And in both situations, I believe they are both in a form of pain. And in this platform, because to be consistent with my message and not be judgmental, I want to take this evidence that accumulates in my Periscope and let people know what happens with it. I think it is fair that when you click on my button to come into this, that these are the terms and services that you're agreeing to, and it's fair that you know the potential process that will embark if you disregard my terms. So if you continue to participate in a disruptive manner, what will happen is you are creating evidence for me of your chosen behavior. And I will interact with you and I'll give you the ability to stop. And if you choose to persist, I have a video record. Every one of my broadcasts are downloaded. The context of the comments relative to my conversation are real time, and I have that as a video record. And so what I do in those instances, after a broadcast is complete, I have several steps in my process which I go through. One, I'm going to be engage with those on Twitter and other social media profiles that are contributory to my discussion. Those that are disruptive, I take the video file and I edit it. I take out those particular comment strings specific to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 discussions of disruptive behavior. I take that file, I edit it, I download it, and I save it. Then in turn, I go and find that person that was doing the disruptive behavior. And unfortunately, they're under the perception that they're shielded by anonymity. Well, I remove that shield of anonymity, and I go and identify that person in various aspects of their life. Because in my topic, I talk about digital breadcrumbs, I talk about digital footprints, and I talk about digital tattoos. And that all means something, that the internet, people believe they're hidden in this anonymity through certain protocols, but there's one thing that is always left behind, and that is an assignment to an email address, which is an assignment to an IP address, which is an assignment to an ISP, and there's other things that I can find attached to that as well. So what I do is, once I've stripped away your perception of anonymity, I go on a path to find your social media participation and the other people that you communicate with on social media. This will be through platforms such as Snapchat and or Instagram or Twitter, or what other social media digital breadcrumbs or footprints that you have left behind for me to find. Now then I take that another step further, and based upon that communication of circle that you have, I go and identify your sphere of influence. I'm not going to go to a child's parents, because parents don't believe their children are doing this. No matter what evidence I put before a parent, they're still going to be in a denial as to, not my child. My child's not behaving this way, and you're an absolute weirdo for even trying to hold my child accountable. But this behavior is akin to standing in line at a fast food restaurant waiting for food, and this child comes in and just jumps in line right in front of you. And the parents don't want to be held accountable for their child's behavior, and the child doesn't want to be addressed for their violation of violating social protocol. Well, in this situation, I'm going to make them aware of their violation of social protocol. That I'm not going to go to the parents, because the parents don't care about social protocols. They don't care about being invested in keeping their children safe or looking at the consequences of their children's behavior, and that's okay. So I'll go to the sphere of influence. Now, if it's a young child, I'm going to go to their teachers and their school psychologists, and I'll go to the principal, or I'll go to neighbors, or I'll go to clubs and leaders that your child interacts with. To whatever degree that digital footprints reveal itself, I will go to that sphere of influence. If you're a mature adult and you're exhibiting this behavior, I won't go to your spouse, because you've got a strange relationship with your spouse that she doesn't know you're doing this behavior, or it's rather bizarre that you guys are maybe doing this as a couple. Doesn't matter. I'll go to the employer, or I'll go to your manager or supervisor, and I will say, this is the behavior, the free speech that this person wanted to exhibit on this particular broadcast of a grown adult. And I'm going to say, this is the character of person that you have working for you, representing you through them on this social media platform. And I say, I just want to give you the information. You are free to make whatever decision you want regarding your relationship with that person, but I'm just going to provide you a courtesy. The courtesy is, I have warned this person. Here's my evidence of the warning. Here's my terms of service that you have the ability to review prior to coming into my broadcast. Now, the fact that you didn't do that, or you choose to ignore it, or you choose to ignore my conversation during the broadcast and you exhibit whatever behavior you do, I'm going to hold that accountable up to those people that you know. Because obviously, you've gotten to this point that now you're seeing, oh my gosh, he has terms of service, and there's a consequence for this. Well, you chose to ignore that when you came in. Now it's coming to light that your behavior's gotten to the point that I'm going to just let people see your behavior. Hiding on Periscope inside of my broadcast gives you this sense of power. And that's fine that you feel that power. I'm all right with that. But there's other people that are not capable of psychologically and emotionally handling your vitriolic stance on an anonymous perception of a platform. So I'm going to be a speaking point for those people that do not have those tools and resources, that I have them. Your words are meaningless to me. They have no power because there's no basis in truth in what you say about me. You have no knowledge of me and probably have no experience in what I am doing on this platform. You just came in and made a decision to do whatever behavior you just manifest that I am going to hold you accountable to. So this was just a polite way of letting you know that in my profile on Periscope, I make reference to your participation in my Periscope includes your compliance with those terms and service. and that if you are one of those people that are disruptive and you are blocked, you're going to get the notification that you are in violation of my terms of service, and that it's also going to go out to that sphere of influence that I shared. So I just wanted to be upfront, and instead of taking every one of my broadcasts and addressing this individual as it arose, I'm just going to refer back to this video that is linked in my bio. So I hope that you are not one of those people that have come to this video and that you're now concerned about what I'm going to do and expose that you possibly, during my dialogue, during the Periscope, made a decision to stop off of that type of communication dialogue. So I hope that's you. And this is just one that you just wanted to come and see what I was really talking about when I said the terms of service. Because we all know that when we enter into these agreements with an application or an internet service provider or our cell phone contract, that we don't really care ourselves or concern ourselves with the terms of service. But I provide them for you. Whether you clicked on this link before or after, this is my evidence to let you know what happens. So I hope you didn't get to this point, but understand, I'm doing it to help you. I'm doing it to help you. That I will help if you need it and if you so desire to get the tools and resources to help you deal with this behavior, to understand what is this pain. What is this pain that you're covering up that gives you so much desire to do this behavior outside because this pain is being ignored? And that's my goal, is to help you get restored relative to what you're running and hiding from. Because all of this nasty stuff is just piling on top of other people. So I wanted to do this as a courtesy, and I thank everyone that participates in an appropriate way and that brings value to the Parent Dome message on Periscope. And to those that are disruptive, I'm hope that I am a point in your life that you can get an aspect of clarity that there are people out here to help you address your inner pain. Thank you, and have a great day.